Today we're diving into a fascinating and disturbing film project called The Bait, which interweaves historical cannibalism with modern horror. The story follows Adam, a film professor supervising his students' graduation project on a remote Pacific island. What begins as an exciting creative endeavor takes a terrifying turn when the group discovers they've been lured into a trap by an aristocratic cannibalism ring. The project draws heavily from Europe's complex history with cannibalism, which might surprise many listeners. From prehistoric times through the Renaissance and even into the modern era, documented cases of human consumption have occurred across the continent. In fact, during the 11th century, there are records of human flesh being sold in English markets during times of famine. What makes this film particularly compelling is how it connects historical practices to contemporary horrors. The story's villains are wealthy elites who hunt humans for sport and consumption, reflecting real historical cases where privileged classes engaged in medicinal cannibalism. During the 16th century, European nobility would consume parts of human bodies, from crushed mummies to the flesh of executed criminals, believing it had healing properties. The protagonist, Adam, is written as a former Egyptian special forces officer who must use both his military training and filmmaking creativity to save his students from becoming prey for the wealthy hunters. Perhaps most chilling is how the story incorporates modern technology. The villains use a sophisticated digital marketplace on the dark web to auction off human prey, while tracking their victims through disguised devices given out as hand sanitizers. This reflects our contemporary fears about technology being used for surveillance and exploitation. The project also explores themes of class warfare and social inequality. The wealthy antagonists represent a dark mirror of real-world privilege, using their power and resources to literally consume those they consider beneath them. It's a metaphor that becomes horrifyingly literal in the context of the film. What's particularly interesting is how the story subverts typical horror tropes by making the protagonist a middle-aged professor rather than a young action hero. Adam must rely on his intelligence and experience, working with an unlikely ally, a tech-savvy 8-year-old named Johnny, to turn the hunters' own systems against them. The film serves as both entertainment and commentary, forcing us to confront comfortable truths about human nature and the historical reality of cannibalism while delivering suspense and action. It's a reminder that sometimes the most frightening stories are those rooted in historical fact. This project aims to join the ranks of socially conscious horror films that use genre conventions to explore deeper themes about society, power, and human nature. By blending historical research with modern fears about technology and class inequality, The Bait promises to be both thought-provoking and terrifying.
Written and directed by Hosam Ibrahim.